Let's go.
Welcome. I have a whole spiel prepared, but it only makes sense for anyone who was here last time. We're in a very different situation now. The short version is, we're going to be doing some missions. Don't exactly have a very good pick. So I'm just going to be grabbing the least painful stuff. God, these surface ones are killer. Two of these is probably enough. Seeing as I'm actually awake right now.
Detach confirmed. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
Say that and then immediately crash. I swear I'm mostly awake today.
All clear. Have a safe trip, Commander.
weird. Now, where were we? Yes, starting another long drive. I know it doesn't do anything, but it feels better. There we go, that's a little peppier. Must be heading that way. Except, no, I'm not, because all the stars are back there. Wish I knew what criteria the game used to generate these. You've fallen for one of my classic lies. Speaking of getting pranked, I got distracted by a spam phone call and missed my off-ramp. Let's go with that.
This doesn't look good!
It's fine, it's threat zero. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I'll tell you what could possibly go wrong. I'll tell you what's going on right now. I've turned on call screening for this This is extremely not suspicious at all. Why am I overshooting? This is what I get for trying to do a manual drop immediately after waking up. Anyway, put on call screening for this extremely not suspicious at all call, and then ended up recording 53 seconds of silence. Extremely cool. So how you doing, Khaki? Ah, the classic struggle. So for some context, amen. So for some context, since last time we logged off in a very different situation. I believe we were at one of the Thargoid sites. Since then, I have done a little bit of research. I have done a little bit of traveling. I've done a little bit of, I won't say grinding. I was not specifically looking to grind. But yes, grinding. And I have found us a new home. We have a mission now. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna be hanging out here for a while. In this sort of general area. If Den was here, she would know who these people are, but I did a little bit of looking into one of the old groups I used to be more involved in, Communism Interstellar. And it turns out they've been busy. In fact, they've been really busy. Like, really, really busy. Let me show you something here. I have filtered this to show only communist governments. Every single blue dot in this area. Every single one. And look at the density related to like the rest of the bubble here. Nothing. And then you just have this gigantic... They call it the Greater Manite Volume, since it's centered around the Manite system. Last time I hung out with these people, I don't believe they were anywhere close to this. So again, they have been quite busy. So I think we're going to be hanging out here. Oh, hello, Moo. Moo has arrived. And furthermore, once we become allied with at least one of these factions... Oh right, I turned off auto dock. I'm going to go ahead and manually park, and then I will explain what I'm talking about. Moo is literally climbing across the arm that I am using on my flight stick. She's helpful, very helpful. Thank you for steadying my arm, Moo. Yeah, there's it's not just those. Like, there's a lot of assorted communist factions here. Anyway, once we become allied with at least one of them, let me read directly from... Oh no, I closed my web browser, so I can't do that. I'll paraphrase then. Once you provide proof that you have done this, they have a unique decal for our ship. And you know how I love decals. I'm also trying out a new playlist. It seems to bounce wildly between just real chill, peppy stuff and just like extremely aggressive doom synth. It's certainly a vibe. I don't know if it's the one I'm looking for, but it's a vibe. Also notice that the Bella Chow is handling a little better than it usually is. That is because, Moo, please get off of my Super Cruise button, thank you. There you go, Moo. Yeah. Anyway, that's because I actually finished A-rating all of the modules in it. Except for the ones to drop weight. So we've actually got A-rated thrusters now. Unfortunately, I'm doing the opposite of this advice. I just drank a bunch of coffee. So on this day, I choose dihydrate. Wow, 36 entire minutes.
In order not to offend or horrify those in the audience of a squeamish or prudish disposition, the sound of a bell in a theater will warn you when to close your eyes or turn away, so that you may avoid witnessing certain scenes of an especially erotic or gruesome nature.
Oh. I remember what movie that's from, but I don't remember the title. They did it on MS33K, I think. It was neither of those things. fact, the performance of this is so good it continually surprises me. I spent all of last stream complaining that I was not as nimble as I remember, and then I proceeded to completely forget all of the muscle memory needed to operate at this level. Okay, now we're up to Cordial. So we should be getting slightly better missions now. And since we're in a different location than our home, I'll start grabbing stuff here that like goes to other ports. Since expansion, like these courier things, we don't have to like come back here and turn them in. Whereas these, we would have to come back here. Here we go. This is a fun one. For certain definitions of fun. Alright, we don't actually have our location yet, so what we need to do is... hang on. Baxter Observatory. Right, this is actually on the system map, never mind. Baxter, there it is. resistance. Oh, we best be on our guard. Alright, we just need to bleed a whole bunch of velocity and then auger in for a landing. Easy as pie. Go, and then once they're at around 25 to 30 degrees, make a final approach. Now, unlike approaching a starport, we are not actually going to dock here. We are approaching quote-unquote covertly, so we do not want to aim to overshoot. In fact, we want to be able to approach this from a ways away. I'm normally not a very patient person, so I don't know why this speaks to me. I think it really is just the simulationism of just like... Have I shown you a picture of the HOTAS setup I have? There's like actual like analog switches and dials and shit on it. And like, again, I'm not a patient person, but I do go gaga for like analog switches and dials. I love to push a switch to turn my headlights on and off. So like between that and like you know, I love you've noticed, I'm sure, that I have like cluttered my dash in here with a whole bunch of bobbleheads and stuff too. This also gives me the kind of like existing in a vehicle feel as Truck Simulator. So like these two things combined means that there's a lot of travel. There's not a lot going on. For some reason, my brain is still just like, this is fine. There it is. Want to back up. Looks like they've detected us from about 2.14 out. So we're going to want to settle down right at the edge of their radar. We're going to approach, not on foot, but in a little clown car. You see, we deflect their anti-vehicle radar with a series of pulsed honks from our rubber nose. They'll never see us coming. Can't exactly have them detecting this though, so... That's gonna go ahead and put itself in a parking orbit. call it back down later. Turn off the lights. We just need to make the final approach. A little over 2 kilometers. This planet's pretty smooth, 0.17 Gs. I think we're gonna be just fine. Basically what we're doing here is we're trying to track down a particular target that the Manite Labor Union wants eliminated. But we don't know where they are. The people in charge of this installation do. And they won't tell us, so we're going to have to discreetly acquire that information. You might notice that this facility is also controlled by a communist faction. In the grim darkness of the far future year of 3307? 9? Which one is it again? Whatever. There's only leftist infighting. Exactly. So if we're super lucky, we can just roll up here. We won't have to cross the detection perimeter, and there won't be any skimmers or security ships. Again, if we're lucky. If we're really lucky, this won't even be a private network. Like, they don't want us here, but there wouldn't be any alarms on the terminal. Let's find out. Yep, that is a public terminal. All we have to do is scan this without being detected, and we'll be home free. Seeing a detection perimeter. I'm also seeing not a whole lot of clipping. Budget cuts. Too bad. Can't even make their walls reach the ground. Alright, now we have their super secret intel. What else we got here? Okay, those other ones are just defense turrets. We don't want to call our ship down here, because if we do, those turrets will light it up. So we need to get a decent distance away before we do that. Ideally, outside of their detection range. Which, as we learned earlier, discreetly tapping my temple here, as we very smartly learned earlier, it's about 2.14 kilometers. So we just need to do a little bit of a straight line drive. They'll never know we found out where their buddy was until he is space dust. The drive away from an installation always gets more interesting when you're being actively pursued, though. I actually managed to lose a python the other day. Turns out if you're really good with the thrusters, and you're on a low G world, you can just bounce forever. Like so. And if you do it fast enough, you can get out of detection range. So let's go ahead and call the Bella Ciao back. Ah, there she is. Right, where are we heading? The Aores system. That is, in fact, the system we're already in. We just need to find the signal source. Something like that. Also, you may have noticed we just got dinged with a fine. This is because our ship decided to be very smart and park just inside the radius. It loves doing that. This is fine, though. This will just make it a little more spicy. And yeah, more or less, this is, sort of spy work. Welcome. You're just in time for nothing to keep happening. Who knows, subtle doctrinarian differences, probably. This guy we're after is described as a known terrorist, so I don't know. He probably holds some kind of minor doctrinarial difference. You know how it is. Either that, or instead of taking one donut at the last meeting, he took two. Can't let that sort of thing slide. Uh-oh, we have a pursuer. This is someone who is after us for holding expansion data, I believe. Mega Howl. Nah, it wasn't that one. Where is it? Oh, that's System Authority. Alright, so he's lurking somewhere in the system. I'm reasonably certain I can take him though, so I'm confident throttling down. Looking for our guy. And if he actually catches up to us, we'll get a little jump scare. There he is. He's in a Viper, so he's gonna try and boom and zoom us. We're not gonna let that happen. We're just gonna throw a whole bunch of lead for him to run directly into. Now that he's got his shields back, he's gonna be a little more confident. But we just need to finish him. Let's get a little closer. That straight line speed working out for you, buddy? Pretty good, it doesn't seem. Let's get a little closer. Come on. There he goes. Hey, bud, you're at 0. You're dead, Hoss. Ain't figured it out yet. Fortunately, I'm very persuasive. Alright, let's scoop up his bits. Thank you for the galvanizing alloys. So even if these are not, like, directly useful to us, we can trade them for things that are useful to us later. We're going to want as many as possible before we even start getting into that. Alright, so let's see here. Let's check our transactions first. So he's in Ayores. That's the system that we're currently in. We just need to find a signal source, or we can go to the nav beacon. We're a ways away from drop-in, though, so I don't necessarily want to do that. We'd have to fly all the way back. However, this says discovered mission-related signal source, which is encouraging. We just need to find the orange one. There it is. Sometimes it hides. There it is. Looks like we got another ship coming after us too. Truckin. Fortunately, they do us the favor of announcing themselves before they come after us. Oh, look out, folks. He's in a Viper Mark IV. Oh, he's really gonna get us. He's not. I'm just gonna slow down and let him get us here. If we get close enough to the mission target, he'll catch up to us right when we get to it. And it'll be a giant pain in the ass. So it's better to just let him catch up here. There we go. So here's something you might notice about the Viper 4. The Viper 4 is just a fat Viper 3. It's bigger, it's slower, it's generally not good. It's good for making into what, back in ye olden days, the frogs would call a hell brick, which is just when you load it up with hull reinforcements. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that it's mostly harmless, as Truckin has not done that. They also have really low shields, lower I think than the Viper 3. He's probably gonna get away from us. That's fine, he'll be back. He might even be back in another ship. Take us below the orbital plane here. For now. He'll either come back either in sector space here, or he'll ambush us when we drop in on the target. So long as you're being pursued by an NPC, they can just kind of show up in places. What's especially fun is if they do that while you're pulling into a station, sometimes they forget about the no-fire zone and the station takes them out. Yes, I did. Alright, so he's gonna keep trying to joust us. Which is a good way to fight as a Cobra, since you have a very slim forward profile. So we want to kind of get up beside him and keep him on target. And he's done. Scoop these up as quick as possible. Every second we're in here is a second we can get ambushed. Alright, got him. Done here. Let's head to the next system. I have a suspicion that our pursuer will find us here. There he is. Oh, he got his Viper fixed up. Come on, come and get me. There he is. Come on, get a little closer. Let's get a little closer. Come on. Ah, backups arrived. Got him. Congratulations, we're so good at murder they gave us a badge. The cops can be safely ignored. We do have that fine from the other system, but that's not valid in this jurisdiction. Otherwise, we would have a little red wanted thing over here. So if they scan us, that's perfectly fine. The only way that would show up is if someone scanned us with a warrant scanner. That would get our status in other systems, but it wouldn't make us valid to attack in this jurisdiction. You can only open fire on a ship that is wanted in the current jurisdiction, otherwise you get dinged for assault. It's kind of an interesting interplay of systems. In fact, I want to say, who do you work for? We'll never know. But they were probably from the Workers of Manite Labor Union, since that's the owner of this system. Yep, that's all of them. Now we're gonna want to get back into Super Cruise. Probably want to put our cargo scoop back up. Go ahead and find that signal source. Probably hiding in one of these. I swear I saw like a flash of orange. Sometimes, if you don't have the system map, it's useful to find other bodies in the system, gas giants and such. And then you'll find signals around them, like so. Boom. Detective work. We initially weren't seeing it because we didn't know where to look. And these always spawn around bodies, and in fact, sometimes they spawn around bodies that are really far away. So, since we're not being pursued, I'm going to put us on cruise control. And I'm going to go get some water or soda or something. I'll be right back. I got some orange soda. So how are we liking the playlist? Good to hear. Do let me know if it's too loud or something. Nailed it. Okay. On to the next. It would be a fantastic quality of life change. So when you're flying your ship in real space, when you bop the flight assist button, it turns flight assist on and off. When you're driving the clown car, when you hit that button, it turns drive assist on and off. When you're in Super Cruise, you might think, if I hit the assist button, it turns Super Cruise assist on and off. That is incorrect. It would be cool if it did. There's a one. There's our spot. Everyone remember where we parked. Doesn't look like Manite has a presence out here, so we're pretty much on the edge of that system's influence. Yep, that makes sense. Let's head back. It's the next one in Achosi. I'll just kind of spiral us all the way back to Aju. As rough a time as I'm having getting used to having A-rated thrusters again, I definitely missed it. Let's see if it can pull us out of this one. Didn't think so. was halfway wondering if we were gonna get snagged on the planet there. Dock in 2 minutes to get the bonus. I think we can manage. Ah, a secondary contract. These are fun sometimes. Every so often you'll get a mission that's like, because of the results of your last mission, we are able to offer you this mission, and about 9 times out of 10 it doesn't make any sense. But about 10 times out of 10 it's very funny. Alright, all of these involve coming back, so I'm not going to pick any of them. Onwards to the next system. Head to Monowen. you're wondering why sometimes when I feel like it, I circle around these things, it's because the little hologram there shows you the orientation of the station when you drop in. So if you have it oriented so that the opening is facing you, it won't be exact, but it'll be pretty close. It saves a little bit of time. Like so.
Delay 6 Kilo Oscar Whiskey. Permission is required before docking procedures can begin, Commander. Landing permission refused. Advance to 7,500 meters. Docking request approved. Please make your way to landing pad 2A.
There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of little, like, things you can do here and there to finesse. And if you're wondering why every so often I will just, like, do like a 260-degree barrel roll, I do that because it's fun.
You're on the deck. Engaging docking restraints. Enjoy your stay at our facility, Commander.
Oh, interesting. So this is a follow-on mission that I'm pretty sure is the one that they were talking about getting at the other starport. Problem is, if we grab this here, we'll have to come back to Pordenone. I don't dislike Pordenone, but I want to keep operating out of Darnielle, so we're gonna snag that over there. I don't feel like going back to Iori's yet. I want to clean up and check and see what we have access to now that we're at Cordial. We have one more in Zlotrimi. Which, let's see. Yeah, one of these is for Zlotrimi, and the other one is going back to Darnielle's.
Detachment confirmed. Regulate your speed until free of station perimeter.
I will do no such thing. That's fine, there is nothing particularly attention-intensive happening here. I'll holler if we're about to do something cool.
You are now clear of station perimeter. We hope you have a safe journey.
Oh yeah, if I didn't program my phone to yell at me when people's birthdays are, I would never remember. If I didn't program my phone to yell at me when my birthday is, I would never remember. The smoke is normal, don't worry about it. planetary port. Come at this one from above the ecliptic. I like to do planetary approaches at about a 90-degree angle, so that way I can use my pitch thrusters instead of my yaw thrusters. Even in Super Cruise, yaw is weirdly underpowered. If I remember correctly, in the original games, yaw just didn't exist. It was roll and pitch only. Okay, as always, on approach, aim to overshoot. But not too much, especially when there's a mountain in the equation. There we go. I will not.
Permission authorized. Clear to land at docking bay 01.
Newsflash. Several people have been reported as missing in the Tokyo metropolitan area. There have been sightings of what appears to be a giant cat-like beast. As of yet, Tokyo police have not been able to identify the root cause of these mystical disappearances.
400 meters to touchdown.
Dark alleys at night, as there may be something on the prowl. Dark alleys at night. Something on the prowl.
Confirmed contact. Perform landing checklist. Welcome to the facility.
This guy looks like how I feel. That's what I thought. This is gonna be something we can pick up at the at our home system. Anything going back to Adju? Well, that one, but I don't want to do that one.
Dark alleys ignite. Something on the prowl.
That is that. Let's head on back to Adju.
Vessel is free. Take care when exiting the port.
That's what I thought. It's obscured. It's gonna have to orbit a little bit first. So this little line right here, that is essentially the altitude at which you drop from the cruise. We don't want to maneuver until we're above it, between that and C. That's the one where you go above orbital cruise. So now that we're here, we get around to the midpoint. I can then maneuver. We can get a clear shot to the next star system. That's a lot faster than just trying to fly directly away from the planet until it's not occluding anymore. Oh damn, if we can get it there in an hour. Alright, let's see here. If something going to Grego over here. Let's do that one first. Grego Landing, named in honor of a beloved Star Wars character, Glup Shido. I was on autopilot for a second while I check something. Okay, so I'm not crazy, and that was bugging me. Okay, that looks much better. Couldn't 100% tell, but the dust going by us here was pink, which matched the lines on the sides of the UI here, and it was bugging me. Now it's blue, so you have a little bit more of that pink and blue contrast. There's O2. What do we got here? Oh boy, another flash flood warning. I love it. I love weather. I don't want any of these. I'll take the influence, I guess. Yeah, more of this is just gonna have me coming back to Greygo. I don't want to. Let's head over to our home base, Darnielle. And whomst are you? I don't think so. It's a fun thing that guy just did. He just launched a cargo hatch limpet at me. It didn't do anything because my point defense shot it down. Yes, I know. I said last time, don't get into a turn fight with an eagle. The difference is that last time I forgot about strategically turning flight assist on and off. Yep, we got him, and we got whatever other warrants he had on him, which we will also turn in when we're back home. It occurs to me, I've never demonstrated what exactly I'm doing here. So I'm sure you see the little screen on the left that I'm using to line these up. Fun fact, I'm going to show you where that is. I guess I'm doing free cam to do that. Alright, so what that is basically a camera feed coming out of that hatch on the bottom of the ship. What I'm trying to do is get it at the right speed and angle to bounce it up into my cargo hold. That is why the reticle is below my nose. That's also where my SRV deploys from. Fun fact, that mechanic is unchanged regardless of the size of the ship. So like it actually becomes difficult on larger ships because of the placement of the cargo hatch.
Delay C Kilo Oscar Whiskey. Counseling established. Please approach the station at a safe speed and give way to larger vessels, Commander. Mission authorized.
This is, I want to say, an icosahedron. I want to say it has 14 sides. Yeah, 14 sides. So I think that's an icosahedron. It's not a regular prism, but it is like a known shape. Generally more worthwhile for the lower paying ones to get like reputation. Unless they don't offer it. It's influence, but eh. Oh. A thing, you say? A cursed thing? My favorite kind of thing. I love cursed things. In the meantime, let's see here. Planetary scan job. These actions may be considered illegal at the target destination. I would call that moderately cursed. I think it's, yeah, adequately cursed might be the turn of phrase there. Okay, so one of those courier things was basically delivering an ultimatum to Jarinani first. So we're gonna go see what they're up to. Meantime, let's see. There's really nothing interesting here coming up. We've got some more of these surface scans. These are fine. In fact, I'm gonna grab these. We've already been to Baxter Observatory, and we know it's not a huge deal. Surface retrieval is... I would say broadly fine. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna grab these two, just to show off how they work. Grab this assassination. I'm gonna hold off on the salvage ones, since these are getting a little dull. Ah, dangerous. That's a little high for me, I think. What I'm hoping is eventually... What is this pointing me towards? I already have the thing it was telling me about. Unless it's pointing me to this one. This is a wing mission for an assassination, so generally these are a lot tougher and they'll have, like, escorts and such. This is definitely beyond us, so we're not going to be taking it. So we're loaded up again. We've got some stuff to check out. I do want to cash these in and probably clear our bounty in Aores before we go back there. So let's see. Yeah, that's 184. Let's grab... Oh yeah, we gotta clear that. Deem these. And I think that should give us a clean slate, basically. Yeah, we're good. Let's head here first and do that surface scan. I'm gonna buy the map data. We'll do this one first.
Landing coupler disengaged. Restrict speed until clear of the station perimeter.
Nope.
You have cleared the no-fire zone. Have a safe trip, Commander.
I think we'll probably need to hit the nav beacon first, though. We have the navigation data for the system, but we don't know where we're supposed to go, basically. So for that, we need to stop tail chasing and actually drop in. Alright, now we know where we're going. Go to Joranani, I don't know. J2. That's the one. That is over this way. We're going to want to aim sort of vaguely away from the star, though. Around it. So it shrinks on our radar. And turn. And zero in. as we get close, we'll get a mission marker. Will tell us exactly where to go. Typically, these don't direct us to actual surface facilities. They'll direct us to like a sort of a POI that is dynamically generated. So like search zone right here. This will give us the rough area we want to start looking. And as we zero in, eventually we'll find it. About 30 degrees. These are a little unique. You're going to want to kind of undershoot these. And I think we probably are going to want our night vision on. So we're on the dark side. Precisely like that. And sometimes search zones will wander a little bit on you. Every time it jumps less distance until you finally triangulate the actual location. Also, the reticle is bugged. And has been for, I want to say, about a year. It was doing this last time I played, too. You'll always know when you found it when it jumps behind you, because it needs to make a building magically appear and it doesn't want you to see it. Like so. So let's approach cautiously. Sometimes these have detection radius, sometimes they do not. More likely than not, what's going to happen is it'll be basically fine until we get close in an SRV, and then it'll send a bunch of skimmers after us. Let's go ahead and park here. On this ridge here, so that if we do end up being pursued, they don't have a straight shot to our ship. Ah, pursued, as in like, yeah. Although if they do actually send shooters after us, they might also fine us. In which case we'll have to clear that up later. Okay. Buildings over this ridge here. Ah, yeah, you can kind of see it. So, you see that little, like, arc right there? That is the pulse wave scanner, or something like that, something wave analyzer. It's basically a little radar that shows you where things are, but since Frontier is allergic to just telling you where things are, it kind of just shows you shapes and you drive towards them. So like, up there, you see the wave that's up really high. That's basically telling you that something is like manufactured, so in this case, literally a building and a bunch of skimmers. Lower is like minerals, so if you're looking to do surface mining, you do that. But you shouldn't. You should never do that. So... yeah, okay, so we do have some opposition here. These guys are gonna give us a little bit of trouble. It doesn't have... oh, it does have night vision. There we go. No need to make it too easy for them. Alright. We're gonna park here at a decent distance, pop into the turret. And we're gonna try and take these guys out. This one's closer. Got him. I probably should have fixed my pips before doing that. I had them all in engine. Also, let me fix something here. No, that's why I can't do it, because it's bound to head look. Unless I can do it for... no, because that's still... no, that's still head look. Damn. Whatever. I'll just deal with it. I use my mouse to control the aiming of the turret, so it'd be cool if I could push a button to target using it. But it will not let me, because I would be using the same bind for multiple things. Let's see. Nothing dropped out of this one. I see skimmer guts everywhere, but I don't see any materials. So, it should be safe to enter. We have the perimeter right here, but with their... yeah, with their skimmers taken care of, there's nothing they can do against us. So we're just going to scan their data point. Now, they can put a bounty on us, but that's only valid in their jurisdiction. Oh, hey. Gold. I'm gonna take that. It's basically worthless, but all the same. And that one's platinum. There. Now we have a little extra on top. Oh, also, hey, fun fact, fun gameplay fact here. See that little door there? If we had Odyssey and we could get out of our ship, you can actually go in there and engage in some additional gameplay that ties into this. I'm lying, I made that up. You can't actually do anything here in Odyssey. Completely separate. is what happens when you forget to turn assist off. There we go. What assist does is like... You see those little glowing things on our wheels? When drive assist is on, they turn into thrusters that hold you to the ground, which is like useful sometimes in really low gravity, but most of the time it just gives you way too much fucking traction. And you spin out a lot. When 90% of the time what you actually want to do in this thing is just like let your fucking wheels roll. Yeah, it's buck wild because like this thing is front and rear wheel drive. When you turn, instead of, you know, just turning the front wheels to steer like a car, it turns your back wheels too, which gives you an insanely tiny turning radius, and it just makes you spin out. If you have assist off, at least there's like a little bit of slip on the rear tires to prevent that. But this is basically what I was telling Den about the other day. Yeah, it's really dumb. I don't know why they did that. I wish you could just toggle that on and off, because at speed, you're only going to want to turn your front tires. But if you're moving slowly, you would want to turn all of your tires, like a Mars rover or whatever. But like the fucked up thing is, you can't turn in place, even though because of your wheel arrangement you easily could. It's just a really weirdly designed vehicle. I've made my peace with it, but it doesn't have to be this way. It's fine though, we can just go get a different kind of SRV with different handling. Oh wait, we can't. 4 years and they haven't added a single one. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, we've got our data. We need to return to destination station name. We also got, ooh, specialized legacy firmware. That one's hard to find. Looks like we got a decent amount of data from that too. Nice. Data is not fun to get. So, let's see. Yeah, let's get out of here. Oh, so, fun fact. You might notice we're wanted now. It's not gonna show us on this screen. That is basically like when like a crime or infraction against a faction is logged. It basically logs like not your ship or your vehicle, but like the components it's using. So now that I've like committed a crime in this jurisdiction, all of my stuff is flagged basically. I have to get it either cleaned or I have to pay off the bounty. It is always cheaper to just pay it off. Now, let's actually decide where we're going. Let's go here next. Cleaning in this context basically being like scrubbing out your serial numbers from your hardware and replacing them with new serial numbers. Indeed. Uh-oh, we got a tail. If they wanted to make more money, they would let you. Oh shit, that guy's in a Phantom. Look out, we got a badass here. The Phantom is going to be a little hard to take out here because this is a medium ship. We are in a small ship. We may actually end up having to run from this. Because, like, we have a pretty decent... We have, like, a really slim forward profile, which is really what you want when you're fighting stuff head-on. However... bit of a problem with that is he just has more guns than us, and those guns do more damage. So we are actually going to be leaving. The smoke is normal. The smoke is normal. The smoke is how you know it's working. We just need to get a little farther away from the star. There. Everything's cooling back down. We're perfectly fine. Alright, so this is where we're going to want to go. And I think if he turns up in that Phantom again, we're just going to want to duck him. I got a little overconfident and didn't check what ship he was flying before I submitted. I'm confident that, like, if I had engineered thrusters, I could stay, like, roughly behind him and take him out. Especially since the Phantom is not a very good fighting ship. But right now, just at, like, complete baseline, he has higher grade, like, higher size weapons. His weapons are size 3. I only have size 2 and size 1. And again, he is a medium ship versus a small ship. Remember though, since we didn't kill him and we didn't evade him, he is still tailing us. So there is a possibility that he'll ambush us. Here we go, search zone. Might notice from the irregular shape of this planet, it doesn't have a lot of surface gravity. So we weren't able to get close enough for this to jump without dropping. This is gonna jump behind us. Oh, it actually didn't jump very far at all. There it goes. Take in this scenery, by the way. This shit doesn't exist anymore. They got rid of it. Yeah, their vastly improved planet rendering engine. You see all this shit here that's like dynamically generated. It's all like height maps and shit, and differently colored. They got rid of all that. They replaced the planet generation system with interlocking handmade tiles. It looks like absolute shit. You can look at a planet from orbit, and it looks like a planet from Star Citizen. You can see the tiles. Yeah, it's genuinely one of the dumbest things they've ever done in this fucking game. And they've done some really dumb shit. Hang on, I want to get as close as possible. I would say that's probably pretty close. There we go. That said, in the interest of keeping things interesting here, I have my eye, like I've been watching certain alternate methods of legal acquisition. And if Odyssey actually drops below $15, I might pick it up. Purely for some visual variety. Now, what do we need here? I think the thing that we've come here for was, yes, the structural regulators. Hey gang, I think we're stuck under our ship.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, we're stuck. We're stuck under our ship. I gotta dismiss it. Which is not my ideal outcome here, because what I wanted was to be close enough to just kind of pop this stuff into the bay, because you can only hold 2 things in the SRV. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna board the ship, and we're gonna move forward about 10 feet. Now we can get out. Now we should have enough clearance to... Okay, so I know that's just part of the paint job, but it's extremely funny to me, the idea that that is the paint scrape from us getting stuck.
1, 2,
Alright, so we're looking for structural regulators.
1, 2, 1, 2,
That is jadeite, that's not blue.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, funk.
There's the other structural regulators. There's debris we're getting stuck on. We gotta circle back around over here. And grab it. And now the cargo bay is full, so we have to drive back and drop these off. The Scarab only holds 2 tons. Alright, let's see. Assist is probably a little more. Oh yeah, this is 0.05 Gs. This is a case in which we actually do want assist on. So, cryolite and jadeite. I don't know if those are... We do want to get this. This is an occupied escape pod. There is somebody in that.
One, two, three, funk.
That, we have everything we need, and a little extra. Occupied escape pod. There's something we can do with this. Now, let's figure out where we're going next. Check out Hapats. 1C. C. Right there. Doesn't this look so much better with blue space dust? Armed revolt? Huh? What the fuck is an armed revolt? I mean, I know what an armed revolt is, but what is the POI armed revolt? Huh. I am gonna check that out after we're done here. There we go. Search zone, supply cache. Do a little bit of a flyover first. See if we can get close enough for it to jump. Like so. As before, we want to kind of undershoot. But only a little. There it goes. Go, put down the gears. $115. That's probably good to go without assist. Ooh, skimmers. Ah, the nationalists. Well, we know what to do about them. And what we need to do about them is we need to get far enough away from our ship that it lets us bring our turret out. The nationalists of Hapats. Got him. I think that's all of them. More of them might spring up when we get closer. Skimmer components, that's what we're getting. There's a lot of cargo here. And purely for demonstration purposes, I'm going to just pick up all of it. We have plenty of capacity in the Bella Ciao, so we're good. And if we're very smart and good about this, we can manage to do this without getting fined. Okay, that did clear out. Good. I don't use the handbrake enough. Genuinely wonder sometimes whether this would handle better or worse with a wheel.
Darkness slowly pulls my world apart. Got empty feelings where I had a heart. Memories and photographs remind me of what we were. Yeah, I'm drowning in an ocean of kaleidoscope
Right.
emotions. Neon signs
I am curious about something.
say it's the end.
Ah, yeah, dictatorship. That's who they are. The system is owned by the workers of Manite, but this particular jurisdiction here is the nationalists. I genuinely wish there was more depth to the, like, faction systems in this, because it ends up with some very interesting combinations sometimes. And in theory, there are interesting ways for them to interact, but in practice, doesn't really work. Alright, we got one more chore. Let's head over to Aores. Baxter Observatory. Oh. These are different missions. Yeah, I see. Baxter and Baxter. Right, I did deliberately do that. I completely forgot about it. Let's go ahead and... What is this? Hats. Oh, I have to go back there and get this guy. Alright, so let's go to... Baxter Observatory. Hopefully, scanning this once will complete both of those. Otherwise, we gotta do some, like, ridiculous Keystone Cop shit. Uh-oh. We've picked up another tail. Oh, hang on. This guy's in an adder. We can take him. That's adorable. That's adorable. Show me your warrants. Ah, god damn it. Come on. Give me your warrants. I want to see your warrants. Ah! He's trying to joust us. It's amazing. Please give me your warrants. Thank you. Now you die. Give me your bets. Now back to Baxter. Curious what that guy even had. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. A knife. How about that? El Jonquero. It's Spanish for the junker. We've fallen for Jonker's trick. So he's an expert. He's actually doing pretty decent here. Thing is, he just needs to stay out of our field of fire until his shields are back up. However, since our multi-cannons are mounted on the top of our ship, we can essentially track him so long as he's above our nose. Furthermore, by dipping in and out of FA off, keep up, them on our screens. Just need to get down to 0. Zynga. It's done. So you can kind of see that as you go up in grade, even opponents in ships that did not previously pose a challenge start getting a little tricky. Even that adder almost got our shields down. Although that was 90% me just fucking around trying to warrant scan him. Hopefully this will be the last one to bother us before we get to the observatory. Hopefully. We'll see though. Last time we were here at Baxter Observatory, we didn't really have a huge problem. It was a public terminal, and there were no skimmers, but that could change. Sometimes there will be, like, aligned ships around ground locations, just kind of parked, even if there isn't a landing pad. Sometimes they can get you like that. I recall the gravity here being decently low though, so I think if we do pick up a tail, I can shake him. Do note we're on the day side this time. This has no bearing on detection, but I like to pretend. Get us close, but not too close. Closer to the surface. Yeah, 0.17, this should be fine. I think I can evade anything. furthermore, it doesn't look like we're gonna have to, because I don't think they have anyone watching them. This will be a milk run. Come on, are we out of the radius yet? Huh, 2.77 this time. Maybe light actually does factor in. I don't know. Regardless, time to go covert. As always, there is nothing more covert than a clown car. We'll never see it coming. Go up over this ridge. I had assist on the whole time. I didn't realize until I spun out. Do not want that on. Not on anything over 0.05 Gs. Then you can actually land nice and smooth. Like so. Oh, hello. Hey, Khaki, check this out. It's a rock. You know what we do with rocks? We shoot them like everything else.
Welcome to Stereosphere's customer support. Your number in the queue is 5. We appreciate your call and thank you for choosing Stereosphere.
Entirely valid. I do kind of want a break here, so I'm gonna put that on for just a second. There we go.
Your number in the queue is
Scoot closed, assist off, finish our approach. Ooh, this is a two-parter. So we actually are going to get some heat on us. One of these things needs us to activate the public operations terminal. The other one needs us to activate the private comms terminal. We're going to do the public one first. Furthermore, since this place hasn't sprouted a defense perimeter since last time, which is on them, honestly, considering how that ended, we're just going to drive in like we belong here. Totally normal. In fact, let me take a look here. So we got some defense turrets.
your number in the queue is 5.
We got the comms control, which is private. Ah, there we go. You know what we could do? We're gonna go ahead and toggle this one first, because this one's not gonna ding us. There we go. And now, we're gonna pull a little prank. Data point? Oh, it's just generic data point. Oh, yeah, sure, why not? I'll scan it. Oh, right, this nonsense. So this is the, one of the exciting game mechanics in this. You do a little sort of relay race to go from one scan point to another, and it's not very exciting. But you know what is exciting? We're gonna shoot out the power grid. And that did absolutely nothing. I was thinking what that might do is turn off the turrets, but they're shooting us right now. I love immersive gameplay. Regardless, let me see here. It is probably not worth trying to track down these other data points. I know the hub access one is here. Then we got this one, which is, I don't know. And then the hub access, which is, I guess, active now. Don't know what that did for me. I think another one is over here. We already did comms control. There we go. We got some unusual encrypted files. Was that worth it? I don't know. I was kind of hoping we could turn off the turrets so we could call our ship a little closer, but we can't do that, because that would be too much fun. So let's see. We have locations for our next two targets. Just need to get far enough away that the ship doesn't decide to park within the aggro radius again. Look at that smooth landing. Gorgeous. Nothing but daylight. 2.61, but I want to get a little farther away. Just gently alight. Okay. What do we got? 4 kilometers. That's perfectly fine. Recall. We got a little dinged up. That's fine. We can patch this thing up on the ship. We can also, if necessary, fix it up in the field. We can repair, refuel, and restock, but not really going to need to do that. There she is. I wonder what happens if we data link scan our own ship. Nothing. Alright, we've got 3 targets to take out. Let's grab this one first, over in Gilded Hala. Down. Let's find this guy. There he is. Unless, of course, he decides to show up and interdict us. I don't think I want to fight a Crate Phantom, so I'm gonna shake this guy, and he's not our target anyway. kill or evade a target, they give up pursuing you. For obvious reasons if you kill them, but if you evade them, presumably they just move on. They only continue to pursue you if you engage them and they escape, or if you just duck them without actually evading their interdiction. There's the one. Sometimes you have to push that button twice. I'm sorry? I could probably take this guy, but I don't feel like it. Back this way. That's right, just walk directly into my fire. Having a narrow front profile only helps when you're actually presenting your narrow front profile. Side on, the Cobra 3 is just as wide as anything else. to the next one. I think we have the data for the system already. Okay. Let's get away from the star. Pop in here. Excuse? Oomst? Oh, hello. There's the person I'm looking for. That's great. Saves me the trouble. Is that so? Yes, I do. A lot of stuff in it. Come on. Nailed it. And then finally, our last target in Zlotrimi. deploying the perfect defense, being really far away. Simply vibing over here. Trying to figure out like why one of my Discord servers has a phantom channel in it that is continually reported as having new messages, but does not actually load to clear the new messages. I was able to manually mark it as red, but that channel is still there. Weird. I love technology. Not my mission target, don't care. Do not want to deal with you. Do not have time for you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Hello there, bud. Let's get his attention. I'm actually on your 12, but okay. Right as the shields went up. Oh, damn. It's a Diamondback, System Defense Force. Usually, the ship in these is a civilian ship. Last cloud of materials we're going to be picking up tonight. And with that, our slate is clean. Let's head on back. Time bonuses. I don't know, gang. You think we're gonna make it? Come from it over here. That'll get us a little closer to the opening. There's 31. I gotta turn around. But only a little.
Landing successful. Command system shut down. Enjoy your visit, Commander.
Wow, she looks very bored. Okay, a lot of stuff to turn in here. Probably don't want that. That's not worth dropping that. Alright, so we got a little ways to go before we're actually allied with them. Let's take a look at... I believe we have some bounties to turn in as well. Pay off some fines. Let's see. Intel points. But only for the Federation and Alliance. Weird that you can't turn those in through interstellar factors, but whatever. So let's see. We have some stuff on us. Couple of things here and there. We also picked up this occupied escape pod. There's something we can do with that. Go to the search and rescue contact. Turn it in. And we get a little finder's fee for rescuing someone. The rest of this can be freely sold. None of it's really going to fetch a great price here, but hey, as long as you paid 0 to get it in the first place, that's all profit. Go. Our hold is empty. Our slate is clear. Except for these two things that are just gonna haunt us forever. I think that's a good point to drop off. Let's see. Yep, we are now friendly. Alright, some more work to be done. We'll do that another time. Now it is time to hit that long, lonesome highway. Thanks for coming by. So long.